Welcome to Bible Stories Network, where we share events from the Bible daily. Our story today takes us back to the time of kings and prophets, to the tranquil town of Bethlehem, where a young shepherd boy named David tended his father's flocks. David, the youngest of Jesse's sons, possessed a heart of purity and a spirit of unwavering faith. He spent his days amidst the rolling hills and verdant pastures, guarding his sheep from harm and playing his harp, its melodies echoing through the serene landscape. Unbeknownst to him, God had chosen him for a remarkable destiny, a path that would lead him from the humble life of a shepherd to the throne of Israel. One day, the tranquility of Bethlehem was broken by the arrival of the prophet Samuel, a man revered for his wisdom and closeness to God. Samuel had been sent by God to anoint a new king for Israel, and Jesse, filled with pride and anticipation, presented his 7 eldest sons before the prophet. Each son was strong and capable, seemingly fit for leadership. But God, whose ways are not our ways, looked beyond outward appearances and saw something special in David, the youngest, the one often overlooked and underestimated. Guided by divine inspiration, Samuel summoned David from the fields. There, amidst the simplicity of his surroundings, David was anointed with oil, a symbol of God's favor and blessing. The Spirit of the Lord descended upon him, empowering him for the extraordinary journey that lay ahead. From that moment on, David's life was forever changed, set on a course that would lead him to greatness and challenge. David's first trial came in the form of a formidable giant named Goliath, the champion of the Philistine army. Goliath, a towering figure clad in bronze armor, stood as a menacing symbol of defiance against the Israelites. Day after day, he taunted them, challenging them to send a warrior to face him in single combat. Fear gripped the hearts of the Israelite soldiers. Even King Saul himself trembled before the giant's might. But David, armed with his unwavering faith and a simple sling, stepped forward, ready to defend his people and honor his God. He faced Goliath with unwavering courage and conviction, declaring, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." With a swift and skillful motion, David launched a stone from his sling, striking Goliath in the forehead with pinpoint accuracy. The giant, stunned and disoriented, collapsed to the ground, his reign of terror brought to an abrupt end. The Philistine army, witnessing the fall of their champion, was thrown into disarray and fled in defeat. David, the young shepherd, had become a national hero, his victory a testament to the power of faith and courage in the face of overwhelming odds. David's bravery and humility caught the attention of Jonathan, King Saul's son. Jonathan, a noble and valiant warrior, recognized a kindred spirit in David, and a deep and abiding friendship blossomed between them. Their bond, forged in mutual respect, admiration, and loyalty, would withstand the trials and tribulations that lay ahead. However, David's growing popularity and favor with the people ignited a flame of jealousy in King Saul's heart. Saul, consumed by fear and insecurity, saw David as a threat to his throne and sought to eliminate him. David, forced to flee for his life, embarked on a perilous journey as a fugitive, constantly evading Saul's relentless pursuit. Through it all, David remained steadfast in his faith, finding refuge in caves and deserts, composing psalms of lament and praise, and gathering a loyal band of followers who shared his unwavering trust in God. David's unwavering faith sustained him through the darkest of times, and his heart, filled with compassion and integrity, drew others to him, forming a community of resilience and hope. One of David's most remarkable acts of faith and humility was his refusal to harm King Saul, even when presented with the opportunity. On 2 separate occasions, David found himself in a position to take Saul's life, but he refrained, recognizing that Saul was the Lord's anointed, and he would not raise his hand against him. This act of restraint and reverence demonstrated David's deep respect for God's authority and his unwavering commitment to righteousness. After Saul's death in battle, David was anointed king of Judah and eventually king of all Israel. He established Jerusalem as his capital, bringing the Ark of the Covenant to the city with great celebration and reverence, making it the center of worship and spiritual life for the nation. David's reign was marked by military victories, political stability, and a deep devotion to God, ushering in a golden age for Israel. However, even David, the man after God's own heart, was not immune to temptation and sin. He fell into adultery with Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah, one of his most loyal soldiers. To conceal his sin, David orchestrated Uriah's death in battle, a dark and tragic chapter in his otherwise exemplary life. But David's story does not end in despair. When confronted by the prophet Nathan, David was overcome with remorse, recognizing the gravity of his transgressions. He acknowledged his sin and repented with a broken and contrite heart. Psalm 51, a poignant expression of David's remorse and plea for forgiveness, stands as a testament to the power of genuine repentance and God's boundless mercy. David's life was a tapestry of triumphs and failures, of faithfulness and sin, of leadership and humility. He was a warrior, a poet, a king, and a shepherd, a man who loved God with all his heart and sought to follow his ways. David's story is a reminder that even the greatest among us are flawed and vulnerable, but through God's grace and forgiveness we can find redemption and restoration. David's legacy extends far beyond his own lifetime. He is remembered as one of Israel's most beloved kings, a man after God's own heart, a shepherd who led his people with courage and compassion. His psalms continue to inspire and comfort countless individuals across the centuries, and his lineage culminated in the birth of Jesus Christ, the Messiah, the ultimate fulfillment of God's covenant with David. David's story is a testament to the enduring power of faith, the importance of repentance, and the transformative grace of God. It is a story that continues to resonate with us today, reminding us that even in the midst of our own struggles and failures, God's love and forgiveness are always available to us. In the twilight of his reign, David dedicated himself to preparing for the construction of the temple in Jerusalem, a magnificent edifice that would serve as the center of worship and a symbol of God's presence among his people. Although David was not allowed to build the temple himself, he meticulously gathered the resources and laid the groundwork for his son Solomon to fulfill this sacred task. David's final days were marked by wisdom and foresight. He gathered the leaders of Israel, imparting his vision for the future and emphasizing the importance of obedience to God's laws. He appointed Solomon as his successor, charging him to lead with wisdom, justice, and unwavering faith. David's life, though filled with both triumphs and trials, stands as a beacon of faith, courage, and repentance. He is remembered as a man after God's own heart, a shepherd king who led his people with compassion and strength, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire and guide generations to come. Thank you for watching. Remember, we upload new videos every day, so subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated.